The year is 100,000 BCE. You are a cave person, a master hunter with all the meat you could ever want. But you need fruit. No problem, the tribe's gatherers have plenty of fruit. Money, right? That's what you need to buy that fruit. But money won't be invented for thousands of years. How will you get the fruit? If you're yelling bartering at the screen right now, you've fallen for the bartering myth. The myth started in the 18th century in Adam Smith's book, The Wealth of Nations. It wasn't really supposed to be about history or even a theory of where money came from, but a thought experiment on why barter doesn't work. Barter has numerous issues, including the double coincidence of wants. If you have meat and you want fruit, you better hope the person with fruit wants meat. No standard of measure. You may think your meat is grade A super meat, but the fruit seller may not think so. Yet you need to come to some agreement. Subdivision of goods. You may want just 10 apples, but all you have is one live cow. You could butcher the cow for the meat and trade that, but what do you do with all the leftover meat? Back to 100,000 years ago. If you didn't barter, how did you get what you need? Most of us have lived in a capitalist society for all of our lives. Many of us cannot even imagine other types of economies, but they did exist. When we lived in tribes, we likely used one of two types of economies: sharing economy or gifting economy, or some combination of both. In a tribe with a sharing economy, instead of individuals owning things, everything would be owned by the whole tribe and distributed to the members of the tribe based on their need. But that's communism! Dislike, unsubscribe. Well, this is our first video. You're likely not subscribed yet. But really, it is a form of communism. You've probably heard that communism doesn't work. But when we're talking about a tribe of just a couple hundred people at most, the sharing economy seems to work fine. Everyone gets what they need because everyone in the tribe knows each other and looks out for each other. The gift economy is when members in the tribe may hint to each other of their needs, and if one member has more than they need, they will gift it to the other members who don't have enough. It's sort of like historian Matt's dad. Historian Matt wrote this script. Matt's dad has a garden where he grows lots of vegetables. Sometimes he grows way more of something than he can ever eat. Let's say green beans. Matt may hint to his dad that he doesn't have enough vegetables, and now Matt has way more beans than he can ever eat. That's great for members of a tribe, but what about between tribes? They bartered, right? Well, not exactly. Between tribes, a sharing economy doesn't work. You may not trust the other tribe, and you likely don't know everyone in the other tribe. The gifting economy kind of works, but it's a bit different. Let me explain. When tribes got together back in the day, they would likely perform some sort of trade ritual. These rituals could include dancing, feasting, mock fighting, and even sex. In the end, goods were exchanged, and not just bodily fluids. But that's barter, you say. Again, we've all lived our whole lives in a capitalistic society. We immediately think of a value for all goods. Remember, at this time, money hadn't been invented yet, and one of the uses of money is as a measure of value. Goods were exchanged, and some of them may have been more prized than others, but there really wasn't a value assigned to the goods. Think of it. Haggling works, but there is often a winner and a loser. If you are bartering between tribes, one tribe could feel like they were shorted, and that could lead to war. Here's where the gift economy between tribes could come in. In this case, the tribe giving the best stuff could be seen as higher status, and the tribe with less can't complain because they got the good stuff. Trading didn't always go that smoothly between tribes, but it did happen. Over time, some commodities could become more prized than others. Those commodities could become a form of commodity money. For example, cattle was prized by nearly all tribes in certain areas. Thus, cattle became a form of commodity money. With them, you could only purchase big-ticket items, since a single cow was worth a lot. Between tribes, cattle could be a good form of money. A common form of commodity money is the cowrie shell. Cowrie shells are the shells of a type of sea snail. They're common enough to be easily found, but not so common that they have no value. They could even be strung together to make nice necklaces or other forms of jewelry. They were relatively small and easy to carry in large numbers. Thus, not only were they used often as a form of commodity money in the past, they are still used in certain places today. Of course, one of the most prized commodities nearly everywhere was precious metal. These metals included, of course, gold and silver, but also copper and possibly tin to make bronze. Over time, the quality and quantity of these metals would be standardized into coins. That story we'll save for another episode. But what happened to barter? Barter would appear in places where the common forms of money were in short supply, but people still had goods to exchange. For example, after the fall of the Roman Empire, many places in Europe would run out of Roman coins to use in trade. Thus, barter would be used for a while. Money actually helped barter by way of imaginary money. Remember, one of the uses of money is as a measure of value. When bartering, when money isn't available, traders would know how much a good would cost in terms of that money and try to trade it for another good with a similar value. No money was exchanged or even existed in either trader's hands, but it was still used as a measure of value, if only in the minds of the traders. Thus, bartering evolved after and out of the concept of money, and not the other way around. Though barter would never last long, because some form of money would take over and push barter out. In the American colonies during British rule, British pounds were hard to come by. People in the colonies started bartering between themselves. After a while, a commodity would take over as a form of currency. One time, that commodity was nails. Nails are common, but a bit difficult for a blacksmith to make in that time. Thus, nails became an ideal form of currency for a while. Nails became so valuable, people started burning down old houses to steal their nails. Similar to how scavengers will strip copper wiring from buildings today. Those nails would enter into the local economy for people to buy goods and services. Meanwhile, the house would leave the economy. But an empty house at that time would be worth less than the nails it contained. You would only need some labor to extract the value. When I think about the labor market, I think about our sponsor. In the past, only the wealthy elite of the business world could afford to hire top talents, for instance. They knew where to meet these guys, and they had the means to pay them. Everyday people like you and me, on the other hand, couldn't even compete. However, thanks to the equalizing effect of money, these things have been democratized. So now you have platforms like Fiverr Marketplace, where everyday people like you and I can meet and hire the best talents money can buy at very affordable rates. Simply put, on Fiverr Marketplace, your problem is going to be that of choice. And if you don't like your first choice, it's no big deal. You can always end the contract and try another seller. Fiverr's sleek and intuitive user interface makes the entire process of hiring and paying talents hassle-free. And the best part is that it's completely free to sign up. So if you've got that project you've been stalling on, sign up now using the link in the description. Just click that link and you can start working with the same talents trusted by Google, Meta, and Netflix. The concept of money would spread and evolve through time to a point now where we can barely think of a way of life without money. This simple concept drives the world we live in. You could even say, money makes the world go round. We will finish this video with a final word from the writer, historian Matt.
Dad, if you're watching this, don't send me any more beans. I have enough beans. Oh God, I have so many beans.
Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe to keep up to date as we continue our series on the history of money. We'll catch you in the next video.